Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I decided to do just a quick toot on how I do my eyebrows. I know that a lot of girls have asked me in the past and recently how I get the perfect shape. So I wanted to just do a quick tutorial on how I do my eyebrows and kind of tips that have helped me along the way. So if you guys are interested in this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, continue watching, and also please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet. And yeah, let's get into the tutorial and I will show you guys how I make these non-existent brows look like this. All right, let's get started. All right, so to begin, I usually grab just a spoolie of some sort. You can get these on just any sort of brow pencil, and basically I take the edge of the spoolie and just brush out the brows kind of in an upward motion. And this just basically gets the brows nice and brushed out and gives it the beginning shape. And it also allows you to kind of see, like, if you have longer pieces of hair, you can actually take small scissors and trim those pieces so you don't have any like rogue hairs going everywhere. So I'm going to get you guys up close and personal so you guys can see how I get started. All right, hello, we have arrived. So to begin, the brow product at the moment that I am using is the Cabana by Benefit. This is in the shade number 4. Now, for your brows, you do have different options. You can use a gel type cream product, which is what this one is. You can also use just a brow pencil, which I think is awesome. It's what I used to use all the time. It's just very easy and it kind of allows you to have a lot of control to actually shape the eyebrow. And then there is also brow powder products, which I don't have any at the moment with me, but you can also use just a brow powder, which kind of gives you a more natural look. So it's up to you, your preference of what you want to use. Currently, I just love this product. It is the one product that I found so far that I'm just like obsessed with. But if there are days where I just want to do a quick eyebrow that's more natural, I'll always use an eyebrow pencil. The one that I use is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I use the shade Ash Brown. So make sure that when you do pick your brow product of some sort, that you're picking a shade that either matches your hair color, or if you're more like on the blonde side, pick a shade that's, you know, goes with your tone of hair. So you want to make sure it matches and it doesn't look too dark and it also doesn't look too light. So when I shape my brows, I like to use an angled brush. That has just seemed to work for me. And with this Cabana product, it does have a brush applicator at the end, which this one works really, really good too. But this brush has worked really good for me. It's a Japanese angled brush, and it just allows me to get really fine hair-like strokes in my brows. So this currently is my favorite. So what I do is I just apply the product on the brush, and I make sure I don't get too much, just a really good amount, because we want to just keep it as natural looking as possible. So what I like to do is, to begin, I will form the bottom of the brow and kind of give me my shape. Now, I naturally have a really high arch, so I like to kind of straighten that out a bit and make the brows a little bit more straight. There are days, like if you see my Instagram and on some of my pictures, like sometimes my brows will have different shapes, and it's just kind of like what I'm feeling for that day and maybe what kind of like makeup look I'm wearing. But usually I like to kind of go more straight. That's kind of what I've been loving lately. So I will take the brush and just very lightly start to draw a line. And I like to fill in this gap right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this gap is kind of missing hair. So I like to straighten that out. And I'll just keep adding product as needed to fill in the gaps of missing hair. And that's basically what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to do really fine hair-like strokes to make it look very natural. So as you can see, I'm just filling in the gaps of hair where I'm kind of missing that hair. So now when I get to the edge of the brow, I like to take just a little line and create that arch. And I like to really have my brows longer. I like to bring it out to about right here. And that just, I don't know, for me, I feel like it creates a really pretty long, it makes your eyes look more cat-like, you know? If they're short and stubby, it's just not, it's not cute. After I've filled in those hairs and kind of created that nice arch on the bottom, I like to go on the top and fill in that shape. So what I like to do is starting from right here, using a really light hand because you don't want thick, blocky brows. We've all been there. I have been there. Some days, you know, you just have some brows that go rogue and you just can't control it. And that's okay. But we're trying to make them look as natural as possible. So I like to take the brush and just very lightly create that line here. So as you can see already, it's starting to come together. Now my brows don't go too far inward, so I like to create more brow towards the inner eye area. So I take the brush and just pointing down with that angled brush, I very lightly will just draw very light strokes to create that front brow area. And I want it to look natural, so I make sure I don't do it too hard or with too much product. Already you can kind of tell it's starting to form a really natural look. See that? Oh my gosh, look at the difference. Gorgeous. Brows are sisters, not twins, right? So today I'm going to try to make these brows look like sisters and not distant cousins, if you know what I mean. All right, so I finished this brow, and as you can see, you can kind of see the difference. Let's finish this other brow here. Now, each brow is different, so you kind of have to take a different approach for each brow. For me, this brow is a lot more arched and it's missing more hair. So this one is always a struggle for me. So let's do this together. So I'm going to start at the bottom and just create that line, and then you can see how high that arch is there. So I like to just bring a straight line to kind of fill in that gap. Already it's so much better. So then I start to fill in those hairs again, and this one has a little bit more sparse areas. Making sure you're not putting too much product towards the front because we want to keep it natural. And I'm going to just create that line right here and bring that brow out so that it's a little bit longer. And I'm using just really light strokes, you guys. And if you mess up, do not worry. You can always fix it. I'll show you guys how in just a minute. Shape up at the top here. Just bring it more forward. So now I'm going to fill in that front area and kind of bring the brow more inwards since it is a little bit shorter. All right. If you get too much product, just take a little cotton swab or your finger and just wipe it off. All right, you guys, there we have it. I completed the brows, so now I'm going to show you guys what I do after that. I like to apply a clear brow gel, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel just to keep the brows in place and make them look nice and put together here. So just really light strokes and just brushing them somewhat upward and then to this side because we want to keep that nice shape. After that, it's always important to highlight the brow bone. A step that I didn't include in this video is you can take a brush of some sort. It has kind of a point at the end, which this one is great. It's a Luxie 239 Precision Shader Brush. But if you take this brush and maybe a little bit of concealer, if you mess up in any sort of area of the brow, you can take that brush, dip it in a little bit of concealer, and just shape out the brow with concealer to make it more defined and look more flawless and no mistakes. So if you make any sort of mistake, you can fix it with concealer. After I've finished the brows, I like to take some sort of highlight. Today I'm using the Laura Mercier Highlight Baked Powder and just this pointy brush. And very lightly, I'm just going to apply that highlight right in the arch area, just here. And what that does, instead of bringing the highlight all the way to the edge of the brow, it's focusing just on this little area that makes the eye like draw upward. So it just makes it look a lot cleaner and prettier. And that is it, you guys. That's how I do my brows. Nothing really fancy and crazy. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. It's not too difficult. I hope that you guys liked this video and learned a few tips and tricks. And as usual, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you have not already. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Love you guys.